2025 was supposed to be one of the best years for the UFC. We were going to get Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria, and Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. We were supposed to get all of those this year, but now we'll be lucky if we even get one of those fights. And it's not just the fact that we're going to miss out on all of these fights, it's just because there hasn't really been any good events this year. We got UFC 314, which was good, but that's the only good one, and we're halfway through 2025, and we only have one good event. I mean, last year might have been one of the best years for the UFC. We got UFC 300, which was an awesome event. Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. We got that insane knockout. We got the Alex Pereira title run that he had, which was awesome to see. We just had so many good fights and good events. And then if you just compare that to this year just flat out sucks. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down why this year sucks and why all of these fights are falling through. And I'll even say my prediction for them, if they even do happen. First, let's talk about Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. Now, this fight might actually happen since Ilia Topuria posted saying that his camp has started, and it gives him enough time to fight on UFC 317, which is International Fight Week. So he could fight Makhachev if Makhachev also fights. But before that tweet even came out, Ilia was saying he's only going to fight for a belt. And Islam said that he wanted Ilia to prove himself and fight one of the contenders. So they were kind of at this stalemate. If you ask me, I'm more on Islam's side, where I think Ilia should have had to prove himself at lightweight, because the only time he's went up to lightweight and had a fight, he got head kicked and he almost got knocked out. So it would have been nice to see him fight Arman Sarukian or Charles Oliveira. But I guess he's fighting Islam, if that is the case. But it also could just be that Islam is going to move up to welterweight, and then Ilia will just fight Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight belt, which that would be cool too. And I don't like the narrative that people are pushing. Oh, Islam's running away from Ilia Topuria. Islam has been talking about wanting to move up to welterweight before Ilia even had the belt. So he's not running away, he's just kind of chasing his own dreams. But at the same time, I see where the Ilia fans are coming from, saying that they want Ilia to fight for the belt immediately. It would be a massive fight, and Ilia just did knock out Max Holloway and Volkanovski back to back. So that is pretty good. But at the same time, it's in a lower weight class. I don't know. I think Islam he's gonna win. I think he's gonna win. He's gonna out-grapple Ilia Topuria. It's gonna be one of those fights where we're oh, yeah, well, we should have seen this coming. But I could see Ilia knocking out Islam. But who knows? Hopefully we get to see that fight. And if not, hopefully we see Ilia fight Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight title. Now, next up is Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall for the heavyweight belt. And I don't even know what's going on with this fight, because Chael Sonnen a couple of days ago said that they have verbally agreed to it and it's going to happen. But then later that day, he said that Tom Aspinall is going to fight Ciryl Gane, which, that's just kind of stupid. Why are they giving Ciryl Gane another chance at the belt? But I don't know. It all depends on what Jon Jones is doing. If he's going to fight Tom Aspinall, I wish he would just fight him. But if he's going to retire, then just retire, because you're wasting Tom Aspinall's entire career. I just really hope this fight happens, because I think Tom Aspinall would knock out Jon Jones, and I think that would be amazing to see Jon Jones flatlined on the canvas. But it is kind of interesting, because I could see Jon Jones submit Tom Aspinall. He's not going to knock Tom Aspinall out, because Sugar Sean has more knockout power than Jon Jones with their fists. If they get on the ground, I do think that Jon Jones could out-grapple Tom Aspinall, but at the same time, Tom Aspinall is just so big. No sus. But I don't know. I feel like Tom Aspinall is going to flatline Jon Jones. And now we have Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. And this was the one fight that we all thought was 100% going to happen this year. And then Dricus got injured. We don't know how bad the injury is, so that fight might still happen. But they're in talks of an interim belt, which means that the injury might be worse than some people think. I hope it's not a super bad injury, and it is just rumors. So hopefully they're not even true. But I'm pretty sure they're true. That's pretty wishful thinking to think that they're not true. I don't think Khamzat really deserves a shot, but at the same time, like, he is just kind of this unstoppable force. So it makes sense to give him a title shot. And I think Dricus du Plessis will win this fight. It's hard to bet against Khamzat Chimaev, but I just think there is a higher chance that Dricus will survive the first, like, 2 rounds and then start piecing Khamzat up towards the very end than there is of Khamzat submitting Dricus in the first 2 rounds. I think people very heavily underrate Dricus du Plessis' skills. Now you might be thinking, well, these are 3 massive fights, so why aren't they happening this year? And well, let me explain it. I just did kind of explain it, but there's more layers to it, and I'll dig deeper down. First of all, though, Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis, they are completely excused from this entire issue, since they were going to fight, but Dricus got injured. But Jon Jones and Ilia and Islam, you guys have no excuse. Just fight someone. Jon Jones, fight Tom Aspinall, or just retire. Ilia, just fight a contender super quickly, knock him out in the first round since you're so good, and that's what you say you're going to do, so just go do it. And then fight Islam. Or Islam, just fight Ilia. I actually read a comment on one of my videos, and it brought up a pretty good point. Back when Umar was fighting Merab, Umar didn't really deserve a title shot. He just kind of beat Corey Sandhagen in a super close fight, and that was his first ranked win. He has got kind of rushed to the belt. And when Merab was talking about it at the press conference, Islam was kind of like, Merab, just be quiet and fight the challenger. This is kind of the same exact situation with Islam and Ilia. But this time Ilia, has kind of, he deserves a title shot more than Umar deserved the title shot. And Islam is saying, prove yourself, prove yourself. Why didn't Umar have to prove himself when he fought Merab? Kind of like a double standards here. But the UFC is just giving these champions way too much control over who they fight. But you should have to fight twice a year. Twice a year is a good, that's not too much to ask. You're the champion. You should have to defend your belt at least twice a year. You shouldn't be able to pick and choose who you fight, because then we have situations like Jon Jones. And I know I am kind of jumping the gun with this entire video because we're halfway through the year and we could still get these fights next half. And we could get, I think we're going to get at least 2 out of these 3 fights in the later half of 2025. But I don't know. There shouldn't be this much drama around the entire situation. It should just be fight this guy, fight this guy. You don't want to fight this guy? We don't want you as champion. That should be the mentality the UFC has. But instead they're fight this guy, fight this guy. Oh, you don't want to fight this guy? Okay, fight number 10. Fight the 10th ranked guy. That stuff just shouldn't be happening. But it is. It's sad, but it's true. But anyways, that's all. That's going to be the end of the video. But if you want to see more videos like this, I have a video on how I think Jon Jones has been to a Diddy party. I actually do believe that, and I have some proof. And you should go watch my video on how Ilia Topuria will be humbled at lightweight. There's a good possible chance he could be humbled, and I got a lot of hate for that video, but it's just true. There's a lot of Ilia fanboys out there. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.